remember this. I couldn't find that image.
In 1 mile, turn left onto East Grand River Avenue.
especially you two. That's Luka Garza, right? I mean, even the day they draft
at the light, use the left 2 lanes to turn onto East Grand River Avenue.
Steal of the draft. Steal of the draft.
He could
right?
be the second. He could be the second round guy. There's a second round guy every draft.
Yeah.
And this could be.
I mean, college player of the year, played in the Big Ten. We got to see him often. You know, very good player college-wise. Not sure how that would translate in the NBA. He's a bigger guy, slow-footed, not athletic. Showed he can shoot the three. In college, can he shoot the NBA three? Ends up, you know, we see him in the summer league. Looks pretty good.
Yep.
Ends up earning a real contract with the team already. Didn't even have to do that this early, but they did. Doesn't mean he'll be on the active roster during this regular season, but he's got a contract with the team.
It's not this two-way contract.
Yeah, it's a real contract.
It's a real, I think, 2-year deal, yeah.
So, and it's not just you guys, it's the fans. They saw him at, at Iowa and all that stuff, and then, so they're really rooting for him. He's come out and he says all the right things. He works hard, he lost weight, he's in the gym, he's swimming, cardio, the whole nine, shooting threes.
In 3/4 of a mile, take a slight right turn to merge onto I-96 East.
Everyone's rooting for him, it seems like. He didn't play last night till the end of the game. And I think if you look at his minutes, I think he played about 6-7 minutes.
7 minutes, 2 for 3 from the field. The shot he missed was a three-pointer.
They were calling for him early in the game. The fans were. And then it died down because the game gets going and you see, the Sadiq Bey and all the other guys play and Jeremy Grant. It's the fourth quarter. And they want him. He gets out on the court and it's like, I don't want this to turn into a novelty act and he's just a party favorite and it's Taco Fall or it's Darko or whoever and we're just jacking up from half court, and he makes a basket. Yeah, exactly. I know, but that's the thing. I want Luka Garza, and I think you guys do too, to be a real asset and player for this team. Not just a guy where, this is the new human victory cigar.
Use the right lane to take a slight right turn to merge onto I-96 East.
And Darko, but because if he doesn't pan out, he doesn't pan out. Darko thing that was maybe for the future of this team that didn't work out, but Luka Garza, I want him to make it, and I don't want this to get into his head where he's just like, I'm going into the game for the fans, to just stand up and catch something to root for. And every time he touches the ball, they yell at him to shoot the ball like a walk-on in college basketball. No, I don't want to be that guy.
Hey, Stephen, this isn't again.
Yeah,
I get it. I totally get it. And my thought is that I don't think that's what's going to happen with him. I think what's happening, you look at the game last night, they had 9 guys in the team that had more than 20 minutes.
For 22 miles, continue straight.
Corey Campbell.
Corey Campbell, who was it's funny that name came up, and I'm like, wait, that's the same guy, right?
Yeah, that's the same guy from Tiger, back end bullpen guy.
That was a while back. It wasn't blast from the past.
Yeah.
About him a while.
2014, he pitched for the Tigers, and all of 8 games. Did not fare all that well with the Tigers, but it was his rookie season, and then they traded him away. They traded him, yes, with Jake Thompson. Remember Jake Thompson?
Yeah.
And all the promise there. Traded both of those guys to Texas for the executioner Joaquin Soria.
Really?
Yeah. Been decent. He's had a couple of seasons.
Did I sign Sekou? Did you see that?
Not yet, though. Not yet. You're still on record. Don't worry.
I'm just amazed that he's waved. And we had a legitimate conversation. Is this guy done at 20? Is he done at 20? All right, so last night Red Wings weren't on television. Then they lost to Columbus 4-2. Reading about the game, it sounded like the story was the Djokovic goalie who played well. Unfortunately, lost. We need that. But did you see the Patrick Laine move on Mo Sider? He went coast to coast, and he kind of turned Sider inside out. And it's one of those deals where, hey kid, welcome to the league. There's elite players, and it's not, there's going to be some growing pains with him and some stuff to get used to. And even the best get turned inside out on occasion. And it wasn't like the most embarrassing thing I'd ever seen, but it was just not much video was available from the game.
Mm-hmm.
And I found 2 different versions of that play made available, and I was like, whoa. It was a pretty sweet move by Laine. But they play Pittsburgh tonight, and Lucas Raymond will be in the lineup. So something that people can look forward to. So, Gator, you have some question on your show sheet. I wanted to bring this up to the people. We got news yesterday that Penei Sewell was out of the lineup, or out of practice. TJ Hawkinson was held out of practice. Romeo Cora is done for the year. Frank Ragnow is out for a while. Trey Flowers hasn't played. Jeff Okuda's done for the year. Fatima Mfamu, Terrell Williams, and the list goes on and on and on of guys that were going to be starters for them. Taylor Decker hasn't played, should be back at some point. And the question you asked is, are we really getting a true evaluation of Dan Campbell this year? Or is this going to be very difficult to actually get an evaluation? Because not only were they challenged as a roster to begin with, but they are starting to push the envelope of being one of the most injured teams in the NFL.
We're going to get a partial evaluation. I don't think we're going to get a true evaluation because already 25% of the way through the season, and they've already incurred all of these injuries. And with players that are not just going to be out for the last 3 or 4 weeks, it's for the next 3, 4, 5 weeks, end of the season. They're without guys. So from that standpoint, it's going to be hard. What you can evaluate him on is he able to get any kind of development from players that you never thought possible? Like, are we going to see something from the guys in the secondary that you just, they're 4th and 5th options for them, and now they're thrust into starting jobs because of injuries. Will they improve over time as the season goes on because they continue to get playing time? That kind of development, watching the rookies that are healthy, are they going to develop? You can check that out. And of course, there's going to be game management stuff. But, as I cautioned with the game against the Bears, and then we heard his comments afterwards, we kind of say, all right, we tried some stuff, it didn't work, and really noted it, move on from that. I think that there are going to be situations where he's going to test his players and see if they can come through in certain situations. He's a gambling guy.
Take exit 163 onto I-696 east toward Fort
If you
Huron.
lose a game, nobody's going to lose their. Well, people do, but
People still do.
there's not a ton of premium on winning this.
No, but you don't want to go out and do stupid stuff. Like, hey, I want to challenge the guys, and it's 4th and 8, and the stuff you want to see. But if you want to roll the dice on 4th down and short, go ahead. I'm all for it. But when you start getting into ridiculous situations, you're going to do that. You're going to get called out for it. And there were a couple plays, certainly in the game on Sunday, that rubbed people the wrong way. I could see both sides of it. One made me feel more uneasy than the other, but what he had to say the other day about it made me feel better about what he's doing, because he's learning too, and he kind of acknowledged it. Yep, okay, it was aggressive, and maybe I can't afford to be aggressive this week.
Well, for people who missed the soundbite, we played it on yesterday's program. He was saying, hey, we've got some data now. We're not that good on 3rd and 4th and short. So we're going to work to get better. In the meantime,
Use the left 2
and he
lanes
used the
to
term
take
we,
exit
that he said,
163 onto I-696
basically,
East.
maybe I need to stop going for it.
Yeah.
Was in a nutshell of what he said. With this team right here, right now, maybe I need to stop going for it. You were mentioning that evaluation of players that you're starting to get production from that you weren't expecting, right? As a way to evaluate whether Campbell and the staff know what they're doing. Who would fall into that category? As a player that you're getting, and if any, I'll give you an example. Is Khalif Raymond in that category?
I think he is. Yeah, because he's getting an opportunity to actually get reps on the field as one of the starters as a wide receiver. And he's always thought that was going to happen this year anyway, but didn't have high expectations. Let's see how he develops. And beyond the rookies that they drafted, I should say, I think you're looking at, okay, we got injury here. Matt Nelson stepped up. They didn't take out a total Crosby. So how's Matt Nelson doing? He's done okay. At right tackle, he's been okay. You're looking at the corners. A.J. Parker was a guy who emerged in preseason. Nobody knew who he was. He looked really good in preseason. He looks okay to start this season. But guys that are getting the time, like Bobby Price or C.J. Moore, or look at safety with Dean Marlowe, what's happening there? Those are the guys that are going to have to show improvement, and if they can develop those guys into being capable backups, that's a plus. If not, these are depth guys anyway, and this is just, it further demonstrates how big of a rebuild job this team really is, because I think none of us had high expectations for this team going into the season, but I didn't think it was going to be this big of a rebuild job. And right now it looks like it's a massive rebuild. In the NFL, you feel like you can change things from 1 year, maybe 2 years, and then you're contending. This one feels like this can take a long time.
It does. I like to see him as the owner's manual says, how he's supposed to work, right? Because no Decker, we're going to have no Ragnow. Penny Sewell might not play this weekend. T.J. Hawkinson didn't practice. Terrell Williams is out. Romeo Carr is out. Jeffrey Okuda's out. Fatima Lafamu is out. Trey Flowers has been out. You're getting...
He may return this week.
He may. We're getting... It's really hard to get a read on how far we have to go. Because right now, I'm looking at this matchup with the Vikings. I don't see a shot.
Well, you look at the matchup between the receivers and the secondary. You talk about being overmatched. The Vikings have legit receivers with Jefferson and Thielen. That's legit. They got Dalvin Cook, who's not completely healthy, but he's ready to go again. And the Lions haven't shown any ability to stop teams from throwing the football. And without a real pass rush, if Flowers comes back, great. He's not 100%, but if he comes back, it's nice that he comes back. But our main pass rusher, he's out. So I think it'll be ugly.
Yeah, this season's going to be real ugly if not starting this Sunday. And I'm not saying you're doing this, Gator, but it might take longer than we expect. And I'm not saying you're giving Dan Campbell a free pass or anything like that. But you brought it up before, Doug, with Carolina. Okay? Yeah. Look at where they are right now. Look where they were. Certain things are different, of course. Christian McCaffrey being one big one, but he's been hurt. Can DeAndre Swift be your McCaffrey? Maybe not MVP level, but a guy you can build around on offense. They went and drafted a ton of defense, got a new coach. They're at a point now. They went and got maybe a quarterback in the future. I know you guys don't like Sam Darnold as much as I did. I love Sam Darnold, but I thought he was definitely worth a shot and how young he was and what he was given to work with New York and nothing. He's shown that he can win games as a starting quarterback in this league. Look at where they are now. When they went out, they got Stephon Gilmore because they're going for it already. They're already going for it. I don't think the Lions are there where they're at because they had, like I said, they went
97 phone calls and feedback. Can we really get a read on Dan Campbell and this staff? Or are we just having one of those seasons where we're just crossing days like a jail sentence? We're just crossing the days off, waiting until next year comes and they can be healthy and have another off season and bring it down. 97 on the ticket. Sign up today at BetMGM and enjoy the thrill of victory on your very first bet. Because Sportsbooks welcomes you to Showtime with the lock of the year. Simply place a $10 moneyline wager on either Los Angeles or Seattle, and if either team scores a touchdown, you're going to win $200 in free bets regardless of your bet's outcome. Just use bonus code GATOR200 when you make your first bet to take advantage of this offer. Enjoy football like never before with BetMGM's live betting options, boosted odds specials, and daily promotions right at your fingertips all season long. Download the app at BetMGM.com and use bonus code GATOR200 to win $200 in free bets if either Los Angeles or Seattle scores a touchdown. Nothing beats a W at BetMGM. New customer offer. Payment free bets. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. Must be 21 or older. Michigan only. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-270-7117 for confidential help. This excludes Michigan disassociated persons.
When you run a business, setbacks change everything. And online may happen fast. With your Comcast Business Internet, you can stay ahead. And now you can add Comcast Business Security Edge to make your network more secure. It helps keep your network safe with scans every 10 minutes. And unlike some cybersecurity options, this helps protect every device that's connected. Because when your information, your people, and your company have Security Edge, you can be ready for what's next. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Get started with a great offer for $35 each month for 24 months for 2 years when you buy both. Want even more speed? Find out how to get 10 gigs for your small business. Call 1-800-501-6000 or go to ComcastBusiness.com today to find out more. Offer ends 11/7/21. Restrictions apply. Use Comcast Business 35 megabits per second data and one voice mobility customers only. Early termination fee applies. Requires eco-bill and auto pay. Equipment taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Security notes are not included.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-568-2790. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Providers help thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance to buy $1 million of affordable term life for you. All you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-568-2790. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-568-2790. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-568-2790. 800-568-2790.
This hour of instant feedback brought to you by Mike Guerrero of National Benefit Plans. For affordable health insurance, call 877-734-2200.
Dan Campbell joins Stoney and Jansen Tuesdays at 7:30 on 97.1 The Ticket.
Scott Anderson, 97 on the ticket. Good Thursday, everybody. 248-539-9376.
a free agent receiver, whatever the case is. Yeah, you can build all that. But to take the step of being a winner, you need the quarterback. Goff right now doesn't look like he's that guy, but he's got time to, he's not giving a whole lot of help.
He's a pro.
He's a pro, yeah, but he's not a top 10 quarterback in the league by any means, but
He's probably not that.
He's probably right. He's probably not that guy. And do you go and that's the thing you're going to ask yourself. Do you go and use that resource because with the Lions, if the Lions aren't the worst team in the NFL this year, if they're not, they're going to have the first call at a quarterback still. If they are the worst team in the league, they're going to have a real decision because that game record on defense is available in the draft if you have the top pick.
In theory. Yep.
And do you think like Carolina thinks it's way early, but Matt Rule's saying, I really like Sam Darnold. I think we can build around Sam Darnold. He is our quarterback, and we just got to get the pieces around him. He'll be good, more than good enough to get us there.
Well, that's the other thing is, in the last 25 years or whatever, the Lions have had opportunities to get free agent quarterbacks, and they failed. They chose Scott Mitchell over, I think Warren Moon was the guy at the time, and they went with Mitchell. You look at the year that Drew Brees was a free agent. They didn't get in on him, and of course the rest is Hall of Fame history. There have been those opportunities. I don't think Sam Darnold's that next Hall of Famer, but he's fitting what they need to do in Carolina right now, and he looks very good. He's got 5 rushing touchdowns. It's kind of crazy.
The thing about you say like it doesn't happen all the time. It's not easy to do. You're right. It's not. But it seems like everyone else has gotten lucky at some point with the Lions.
Yeah.
Look at Carolina. They were an expansion team, 1995 or something? Kerry Collins? They went to the championship game, right? The NFC championship game? They went to the Super Bowl with Cam Newton. If they go to the NFC championship game with Sam Darnold here, that's 3 different quarterbacks. And the Lions, 0.
Right. But did it already happen with the Lions? They drafted Barry in 89, and they went to the NFC championship game in 91. That was a quick turnaround.
That was relatively quick.
That was a quick turnaround.
And then that's it, right?
Well, and for a bunch of reasons, but yeah, devastation with the offensive line on the field and off.
But other teams go through something too, and they all come back eventually, some weird cycle. The Lions, ever since 91, has never come back.
So it has happened. It's been a long time. It's been a long time watching ineptitude with this franchise.
The funny thing, real quick, Doug, is Antonio calls in and gives his opinion. The first 2 texts we get, instantly, right? Seconds of each other. First one is Antonio was spot on. The next text, Antonio was dreaming. Seconds of each other.
248-539-9797. From an unnamed texter, I think you can evaluate Dan Campbell's play calling. I wasn't happy with his end-of-game play calls, particularly against Baltimore. Jay in Ann Arbor, hey guys, I judge him on his game management. It has nothing to do with talent, and he has made way too many stupid choices. I say even if he has good talent, the coaching would have lost the games we lost. What if he coaches differently, Jay? I mean, I seriously think he is trying to take calculated risks to steal extra points. I don't mean extra, 1 point. I mean, 4 extra points if he scores the touchdown in Chicago. Because he knows he needs to do some out-of-the-box things to try and win with this team.
I mean, would having Bill Belichick have made any difference against San Francisco to start things off?
Probably not. But I didn't like the decision. I kicked the field goal. Out of everything that's happened under Dan Campbell, there's one thing that I'm like, noted. And that was he did not kick the field goal at the end of the Bears game. Everything else, let me put it to you like this. Nobody outside of Detroit was questioning Campbell's strategy. They made note of it, but they weren't questioning his strategy publicly. When he passed on the field goal, I heard people say outside of Detroit, curious decision. The play-by-play crew did it. ESPN did it on the Monday after the game. It's the first time. So you can be mad about the 4th and 19 defense or mad about the play calling at the end. He did some pretty standard NFL stuff that isn't considered, what the hell are you doing? That one was the first one where people outside of Detroit who aren't emotionally invested and think that if it didn't work, you're an idiot. That's the first one where others are like, okay, that was unconventional and it didn't work.
Well, and if you're upset by that, do you accept the answer that comes back and says, well, I was gambling and I wanted to take a chance? Are you okay with that, or are you just like, dude, you never do that?
His answer was, and I disagreed with it, but his answer was, we're deep in their territory. We have a great chance at a touchdown. Even if we get the ball back, know that we're going to have a great chance at a touchdown.
Right.
We need a touchdown.
That's the game.
I can't kick 2 field goals. I'm going to, and that's his gamble that backfired. But I mean, our guy Jay in Ann Arbor says he's made way too many stupid choices. If you listed off way too many, okay, whatever the amount of stupid choices is acceptable, he said he's made more than that. So that tells me he's made what? 12, 13, 14 stupid choices? And if you sat those down with coaches around the league and said, here's his choice, here's his choice, here's his choice, I think only one raised his eyebrows, and that's to kick, he didn't kick the field goal. Make it 4th and 5 early, because 4th and 5 is in the Bears game. It's a long way to go.
You know, it's kind of funny because he's shown at times through 4 games. He's shown at times to be way conservative and way aggressive. You go back to the end of the first half against the Packers, that was way conservative, right? They took off all this time off the clock. They wanted to make sure their number one goal was to make sure Aaron Rodgers did not get the ball back, and the Lions got points out. Well, to that point, it worked. They kicked the field goal. Aaron Rodgers did not get the ball back at the end of the first half to do damage. But
Was it the most aggressive?
it was not very aggressive at all. It was extremely conservative. And then compare that and contrast it with what happened against the Bears, where he was ultra aggressive. And again, because we've seen 2 sides of it, I really look at it as he's just testing things out and seeing how it works. And to your point about if this is a different season, the team's got more talent, and you have higher expectations. Does he coach the same way that we've seen? And I think the answer is no. I think he coaches a different way. But we won't know.
But I look at it differently. I thought the conservative and aggressiveness didn't make sense to me. I don't think he was testing it. I think he made wrong miscalculations. He thought he was going to get in a shootout with the Bears, and he was trying to be conservative against the Packers and Aaron Rodgers. That didn't make sense to me. You want to be conservative against the Bears and be aggressive against the Packers because you feel like you're going to need to score points.
Yeah, maybe that first 2 drives rattled him a little bit because Chicago went down the field and scored and got up 14-0.
Go 1 for 5 in the red zone. 1 for 5 inside the 10-yard line. It's unbelievable.
Summertime is barbecues and boats. Fall is tailgates. But no matter what time of year, it's time to take up DTE on their offers to help you save money. Did you know you can get a $75 rebate at dteenergy.com/AC when you tune up your air conditioner? An efficient AC unit can save you money and make you money. And DTE has lots of other ways you can save on their website, like their comparison tool, where you can compare energy-efficient appliances and electronics, and their 3D interactive home, where you can view room-by-room tips, rebate opportunities, and smart products at dteenergy.com/home. Or check out dtemarketplace.com, where you can find great deals on Energy Star certified products and save you money. Summertime or wintertime, take the time to learn more about all the ways you can save energy and money, courtesy of dtenergy.com/HEC. They sign up for their home energy consultations. They'll come out and replace all your light bulbs with energy-efficient ones. They'll tell you other ways you can save money. And if you're done working with us, it's a $300 a year annual savings. Go to dtenergy.com.
We're all on this planet together, so join Odyssey and find your one thing. After Halloween, your used jack-o'-lantern and other gourds are great additions to any compost pile. One Thing is brought to you by GFL Environmental. Green for life.
This is Damon Amendola with an Odyssey Sports Minute. Urban Meyer insists this is his last stop. He's committed to the Jaguars. But how can we really believe him? Not only because he's less trustworthy than competitors in Squid Game, but also because the man has an ego, a big one. And the safe money is this is not ending in glory in Jacksonville. So at 58 or 59 years old, is he really going to retire from coaching with this as his final chapter? Or will he eventually slink away from the Jaguars under the cloud of embarrassment, only to be gifted a plum college job right away, to which he can have one last success, one final fan base that cheers him and applauds him and makes him feel all hunky-dory. My bet is, like a bad penny, he's going to turn up somewhere. This is David Amendola.
Texting will answer recurring automated text messages. Message and data rates may apply. Man over 40, is your body feeling soft and not as lean? Are you losing your energy, drive, or even your passion? If so, you could be feeling the loss of growth hormone. The reality is, as early as 25, your natural production of GH begins to significantly slow down, which means you start slowing down. GH Boost from Nugenix is the first and only non-prescription supplement designed to safely recharge your body's GH production at night when it naturally occurs. Clinical studies show the Fixer to 321321. Text now and get a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, absolutely free. Text FIXER to 321321. That's Fixer to 321321.
The last thing you want to think about right now is winter, but now is the time to get your home ready. And here's the good news. USA Insulation can save you a lot of money. First, you're going to get a lower utility bill every month for the life of your home. After getting foam insulated, USA customers are regularly saving $50, $100, sometimes even $200 per month or more. Typically, the older your home is, the more you can save. Second, you're going to save by extending the life of your furnace, which won't have to run as much. Third, if you call now, you'll save $500 on the early bird discount on whole home insulation. And finally, with a government tax credit, you can take up another $500 right off your taxes. Why would you live in a poorly insulated home when you can have the comfort of a new home and save money at the same time? Winterproof your home now with USA Insulation and save up to $1,000. 1-800-USA-FOAM. 1-800-USA-FOAM or USAinsulation.net.
USA Insulation. What can give you a competitive edge in today's red-hot housing market? Rocket can. That's because Rocket Mortgage can give you a verified approval. It could help your offer stand out. Rocket Technology provides a rock-solid verification of your income, assets, and credit, giving sellers greater confidence in you. Go to rocketmortgage.com or call us today at 8338-ROCKET. A verified approval is based on an underwriter's analysis of your individual financial information, appraisal, and credit report. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender license. 50 states and MLS. ConsumerAccess.org. Number 3030.
The Michigan Wolverines face the Nebraska Cornhuskers. Pre-game Saturday at 6:30. Kickoff at 7:30 on 97.1. The Ticket.
I think of it as, there again, do I like this play? Do I like this player? Do I like this throw? Do I like golf and Hawkinson on this? Or do I like the odds of Swift and golf on this? Or do I like this run? Or, is this like a grade A play versus this defense on fourth down? And if you really love the play and you feel like you have the perfect setup, it's hard to not want to do it and go for it because you believe in it and you trust it. But look, here we are after 4 games, and let's call it what it is. Our 3rd and 2 to 3, and 4th down 2 to 3 is not good. It's not good. So we're going to refocus on those short yardage situations, the 3rd and 2 to 3, and we got to get better, or we got to quit going for it because that's just the nature of the beast.
This is Dan Campbell. 248-539-9797. Gator, you asked the question, do we really get an evaluation on him this year? With these injuries piling up, there's now a report, Anthony Lynn, the Lions offensive coordinator, according to all the beat guys. You saw the Dave Burkett tweet. Is that who you should give credit?
He said, right now this is Anthony Lynn. He's quoting Anthony Lynn. Right now we're planning on going without Penei Sewell versus the Vikings, but holding out hope he'll be ready.
So they'll have 3 offensive linemen out for this game against the Vikings. Their secondary's been decimated by injuries, trying to slow down Adam Thielen and Justin Jefferson. I mean, Kirk Cousins is going to throw for 400 yards.
Turn right onto 4th Street.
I can't even... You and I can almost always craft a formula. I don't know that I can craft a formula. I can't find a path. I really don't know I can see it other than some epic meltdown, slew of injuries happening for the Vikings.
Right, and beyond that, I mean, the way you try to craft the Lions, I mean, is it just simply ball control offense for the Lions that they're able to run the ball successfully, break off some 10, 20-yard runs, but maintain the ability to fall forward for 3 yards every time and just keep moving the sticks? That's it. I mean, because it's so daunting right now. All the injuries, the way they've mounted, it's devastating to the Lions. And they're playing on the road, which isn't going to help them out either. The Vikings, they've got some more pep in their step. Cousins has always seemed like he's out there to prove something, but it's just that matchup for the wide receiver against the Lions secondary is such a mismatch. And how do you, if you're trying to combat that, what do? Pass, right? Lions don't have much of a pass rush at this point, unless guys are really going to step up their game. Does this mean we see more Derek Barnes and we'll see a blitzing Derek Barnes? I don't know. 248-539-9797. We promised we'd give some keys for Michigan and Michigan State. We'll get into that next hour because people really want to talk. Let's go to Josh in Detroit. Hi, Josh.
Hey, Gator. Gosh, Thanks for letting me on the show.
Sure, Josh.
Campbell's a great coach, even if he goes 0-17, but nobody cares at the last about that. We love what you're talking about before with the draft, man. They need to go defense. They
Go past
need to
this
go
light,
defense. But
then at the next one, turn right.
this year who are kind of like on the edge of being decent. I think they can grab one in the third round. I mean, you have Malik Willis. You have all of these guys, Peter Slovis,
At the light, turn right onto Ford Street.
You got Howell, you got all these guys, Oklahoma, Spencer Rattler. I mean, there's so many maybe good kind of quarterbacks. I don't know why you can't grab one in the second or third round who could potentially go into a starter.
Well, it's an interesting point to bring up because, you know, there were all the quarterbacks that went last year in the draft, and how many teams are already established with the quarterbacks that they have now? So how many teams are actually looking for a top-end quarterback? And there may not be many. And that could play into the Lions' hands of why you wouldn't take one of the first, because they could be there at the beginning of the second round or the end of the first round when they're likely to have their other pick.
So, Josh, I will tell you and Gator to sit tight. We opened the show with a mock draft, right? And we talked about the Lions pick at 3. But we didn't talk about their second pick in the first round, and we're going to do that at 12:08. And that was kind of something. So we'll tell you who could be on the board with their second pick in the first round. I mean, you mentioned a bunch of guys I expect to be first rounders. Somebody's going to drop to the second round. You know, and if they evaluate somebody as a high-end talent, he's available late with their late first-round pick or second round, then yeah, nab him. But you know, we'll see. I love the idea of grabbing the first quarterback available if it's a year worth having that pick. Every year isn't the same. Every draft isn't the same. Some years, you 2 or 3 quarterbacks are worth it, and some years none are worth it. Your job is to evaluate and know when you got a guy that's worth it, you take it. Especially when you have a position of need. Let's go to Steve in Rochester Hills. Hi, Steve.
Hey, gentlemen. First and foremost, out of all the different groups that are there on your station, I like you guys the best. Well, let's not make you guys hesitate, but you guys got a great blend, a good personality that just continue to be that way. Never get big-headed. Never think you're bigger than the show. You guys do good. Well, okay, hey, Gator, you are who you are, all right? I can't do anything about that, all right?
Thanks, Steve. We appreciate it.
You're
At the next stop sign, make a U-turn.
That's okay.
Yeah, I can swim.
That's good. All right, guys, when it comes to Dan Campbell, I look at terms like this. The Lions fan has been skewed for many years. I'm going on 60 years old, and you know, I've seen a lot of, you know, stupid, crappy stuff. The 90s, we had a good team. Not a great team, but a good team, and I think we would have been probably a lot better if we would have had a better coach instead of, I classify him as somewhat of a goofball in Wayne Fine. I mean, he gets, you know, well, it is what it is. But, guys, Dan Campbell could
At the stop sign, use the left lane to make a U-turn, then turn right onto Warren Avenue.
Whatever. Gets us from Egypt close to the promised land, but then another coach is going to get us into the promised land. Because right now, the way I look at you guys, if I'm not mistaken, and I know I'm not right now, I'm being facetious, but Dan Campbell has never been a head coach.
At the light, turn right onto Warren Avenue, then the destination is on your left.
He doesn't know which way to go in certain situations. And I know he has assistant coaches that have been there, but he's still the
In a quarter mile, the destination is on your left. 962 Warren Avenue.
That's just the way it is.
You know, there's some of that, but he also was an interim head coach for, was it 7 games with Miami?
Gator, interim head coach, and going in there with a specific game plan. As I'm watching these games, and you guys already talked about it, he's gone from conservative to non-conservative to I'm going to do what I know what the league would do. So I'm going to. He doesn't know which way in some way, and it's not a bad thing. He's learning it, but he's learning it at the expense of a fan base that has been through hell and back into hell again in a handbasket.
Yeah.
So,
I actually, the more I think about that, Steve, the more I think about that soundbite that we just played, the more I like it. He's not being stubborn. He's learning from his mistakes. I put in quotes.
The destination is on your left.
And he's willing